Hi everyone. Today is uh I'm cheating. Looking on the it's Tuesday, May 26th, 2020. So why not talk about it? It's the 19-year anniversary of me walking across the stage and receiving my high school diploma. So, yeah, I'm such a negative person, but every memory that was supposed to have been happy for me, the narcissistic abusers in my life made sure that it wasn't a memorable experience. Forced against my will to miss out on prom. And I was like super hurt about that. And even if I was allowed to go to prom, I would be outcasted and singled out. And, nobody won't, none of the fake, the ignorant project ghetto, fake, crusty kids at school, none of them would have wanted to associate with me anyway, you know. So even if I did get to go to prom, I would have been isolated and all by myself, you know. So yep, today's the 19-year anniversary of me walking across the stage and graduating, and it wasn't a positive memory or memorable, like I graduated. I was supposed to be in special ed, you know, but I came a long way. And um like see like in kindergarten I was in regular I started off in regular ed. Then again, but nobody questioned the abuse that we went through as a kid. I mean as little kids. So I mean I started having behavior problems. Then I guess after I bit that boy Anthony, I guess that was the last straw. I think it was by December of 1988. I think I remember it being December. They put me in special ed, you know. But so after being in special ed in kindergarten and then all of special ed in first grade, yeah, I saw on the records they say in kindergarten that I was the smartest kid in the class. And that was before they put me in special ed. They said that I was the smartest kid in the class, but yet the quote unquote worst behaved. Like when I was younger, everybody used to talk about how smart I was, but then they used to talk about, I mean, from 4 years old, people were bullying, harassing, and lecturing me about asking so many stupid questions. But then I get a certain age, and teachers at school say there are no stupid questions. But there are no stupid questions until Candy asks a question. That's when the question is stupid, you know. So in second grade, they mainstreamed me in art. They mainstreamed me in art. And then um, third grade, wait a minute, third and fourth grade, they mainstreamed me in math. Yeah. I think at some point in fourth grade, I thought they mainstreamed me in something else, but I don't remember. But in fifth grade, they mainstreamed me in math, English and spelling, reading, and social studies. Um, yeah, I wasn't mainstreamed in science or PE or anything like. Well, PE, everything was all integrated anyway. You know, more like, well, no, if you were really, really special, then you had your own little special kind of adaptive PE or whatever they call it. So by the time I was in sixth grade, no, I don't think I was mainstreamed in reading in fifth grade. It was something else. But in sixth grade, I was mainstreamed in definitely math and English, um, and I think reading, and I don't remember what else I was mainstreamed in. But you know, like they say that well, they try to say I was a straight A student, but I made mainly A's and B's in first and second grade. But in first grade, it was called self-contained special ed, meaning you were not mainstream in anything regular. And then, um, like when I was in third grade in math, my grades start to slip. Excuse me. Um, my grades start to slip in math, and then yeah, from third through fifth grade, I struggled. Um, even social studies and science. There was a point in time where everything was a weakness for me except English. English class was my only strength at one point. Um, so, I still had a series of quote unquote behavior problems, but then I had to deal with narcissistic and abusive special ed teachers too. I mean, teachers who over exaggerate and lie on an 8-year-old child, you know. And yeah, I've been lied on by the teachers in kindergarten, and I'm pretty sure in third grade. Got punishments I didn't deserve. So I guess one thing that motivated me to want to act good is, and I ended up not getting those shoes, those Deion Sanders shoes. That was Nike Air Diamond Turf 2. I wanted those shoes so bad. And the foster brother Joe, Josephine Dyke, the woman beater, made false promises and lied to me and said if I acted good. Now he didn't behave well, and I mean I heard he used to make bad grades and fail in school. But then even as an adult, he didn't behave well. Beating on women, that's not good behavior. So I mean, you tell me that if I act good, that you know, I didn't know that narcissistic abusers, they make a lot of false promises, and then like say for example, I've had this is a true example where people use to take advantage of my money, and they've been like, well, okay, I'll pay you back on Friday. Friday come, they see me and go on about their business, and I'd be try to be patient and wait a couple of days or something. Then the next Monday I'd be like, well, hey, remember this past Friday you said that you were supposed to pay me back my $300? You keep on bothering me about that $300. You ain't gonna get it. That's how they do. Or they picking an argument or a fight with me for an excuse to justify not having to pay me back my $300. So if I go to a mental health counselor, I would get shunned and condemned for lending money rather than them saying that it was wrong for them to borrow money from me and not pay it back. You know. So um so back on track. So, I guess me wanting a pair of shoes so bad, I guess is what motivated me, excuse me, to try to get better grades in school and act better. And, I guess I'm also, I guess, they said by the time you're 12 or something, you start to develop a conscience of right and wrong, you know. So, and I wanted to stop getting in trouble, but that didn't stop because, you know, I remember the psychiatrist, Dr. Champa Chakraborty was her name. And so she said, Candy, I remember a time when you were an apple of your mom's eye. Said that I remember a time when you were the apple of your mom's eye. Talking about the foster mom, not the biological mom, but the foster mom. That there was a point in time, you know, and then, throughout school, like this teacher, when I was in 10th grade, he actually said that Candy is an asset to West Jefferson. I mean, that's the high school I went to, West Jefferson High School. That he said I'm an asset to West Jefferson. And then I don't remember which one of those teachers. I think it was that freaking teacher, Mr. Totaro. He got hateful and turned against me and faked me out and started to perk me too. um, so that teacher, Mr. Totaro, before he got hateful and turned against me, I think it was him that said, I wish I had a classroom full of candies. Well, do you regret it now? You got a hateful and turned against me and you started to act like a perk towards me. I could be wrong. It could have been a different teacher, but I thought I remember being him that said that. So anyway, and one time when I was in 6th grade, that teacher, Miss Young, you know, she said how much I'm a good person and it's a shame that everybody gang up on me and pick on me and everything. And at first I thought it was some girl named Aisha that she was gonna say, because people used to bully and harass and laugh at Aisha too. But then Aisha started to bully, harass, and laugh at me, you know. But they used to laugh at her because she was one of the last standing people walking around with a Jerry curl. So they used to laugh and call her Scary Curl, you know. So Miss Young had called me out on being the best student, in the classroom. And, I struggled at first in reading. Or was that English or reading? That was English class. And I remember having to read, the first time I had to read novels. And then we had to do like Scantron exams. And for some reason, I figured something was wrong. How the hell I failed every test with that teacher? What was her name? I don't remember that teacher's name. But she had left for whatever reason. I don't know if she retired or what. But because Miss Young had took a sabbatical, like a long one, like was gone for a few years. Because last time I remember Miss Young, it was like 1st or 2nd grade. Then she left for a few years and then came back. And her name was Miss Hulse, not House. Or was it Miss House? No, it was the other lady named Miss Hulse, and this lady Miss House. Then she got married. I guess her last name is Young. So Miss Young, I started making better grades when I got Miss Young as a teacher. You know, so that helped me get better grades in 6th grade. Then when I was in 7th grade, um, they kept me in the classroom special ed class all day, like the first day of school. And then next thing you know, there was some little trouble going on or something. Then they put me in one special ed class. I think that's how it went. One special ed class, and then the rest was regular ed. The foster mom would lie to everybody saying that me and my twin sister have special ed homeroom. There was no such thing as a damn special ed homeroom at Gretna Junior High. We had I had special ed math with that teacher who I thought was my favorite teacher. She even got hateful and turned against me and started perping me. And people who ain't seen you, teachers who last I saw them was middle school, and then I see them as an adult, and they still, have an eternal kind of hatred towards me, and they be perping me, you know. So then, yeah, I think it was seventh and eighth grade. I had special ed math, but then in ninth grade, I mean, oh yeah, and when I was in the little special ed, one class was considered a resource class where I was in regular ed, but that special ed teacher or whatever was needed whenever a special ed teacher was needed. If I was needed some extra support. And Miss Berger used to love me. She used to be my favorite teacher, and she used to be supportive and listen to everything I had to say. And then I had a teacher that was somewhat similar, Miss Valbuena, and my Spanish teacher in 10th grade. I mean, I had that teacher, Miss Canela. That was the Spanish teacher in 10th grade. But um, Miss Canela, I guess, was kind of hard, you know. But I begged to get into Miss Valbuena's class because I saw how cool and nice she was. And Miss Valbuena was one of the popular teachers, but you know, but it's like she was one of the start to make straight A's without even trying in her class. I think there was a thing or two that I struggled with in Spanish, but that was something I knew I just like English. English grammar and Spanish grammar is what I really excel in, but composition and literature, I suck at it in both English and Spanish. You know, so I mean, Miss Valbuena did the same thing, was supportive of me, and listened to me. She used to love me. But once the foster mom got in her head, well, she started perping me. So, you know, and yeah, Mr. Mitchell in 6th grade, he's told me, yeah, once you get to Gretna Junior High, once you get in junior high, then, they're going to put you in a resource room. So that special ed class was the resource room that was supposed to be there for me if I needed the extra support, you know. But in ninth grade, it was reading special ed, the resource class, and that ignorant project ghetto fake satanic teacher, Miss Alexander, was very abusive, and she used to pinch people. She was a narcissistic abuser and a physical abuser too. Pinch people, punch people, you know, and the foster mom didn't do anything about when Miss Alexander pinched me. She pinched me and left a bruise too, and I done nothing wrong. Like Miss Alexander used to pick on me and bully me every day, bully me about my hair, and even the fake foster mom. They try to bully, harass, and lecture me, saying, Candy, that your hair is the first thing people see when they look at you. You know, so and then when I told Miss Alexander off about herself one day. Me and her got into it really heavy. And so one time, one of the other special ed teachers was like, "You need to apologize to Miss Alexander." And the foster mom did this exact same thing in my senior year in high school when we had that fight, over the textbook when the foster mom threw the hair gel on my English textbook. So word for word, the foster mom did the same thing in my senior year in high school. So when you know, um, Candy, you need to apologize to Miss Alexander. Miss Alexander, I'm sorry. And you know what? It's not accepted because she had to tell you to apologize to me. You know, the foster mom did the same thing when her so-called college friend told her, "You owe Miss Feldo an apology." You know, so when actually the foster mom owed me an apology, and I never got an apology really. From the years of abuse, Miss Alexander never gave me an apology for that 1 year of abuse. So then here comes 10th grade. 10th through 12th grade, I was in no special ed classes, but at times, um, well, these guys had falsely accused, they had tried to cheat on the test, and the teacher falsely, the moment I turned my head, the teacher falsely accused me of cheating on the test, and I got in trouble, and they didn't. When they try to beg me for the answers to the test, like, you know, me having my nervous disorder, the moment one of the boys tapped me, and it's like, and I went like, you know, nervously shifting, turn around like that, because it caught me off guard. And then the teacher was like, "Yes, you did give them the answer. 'Cause how did they get the answer correctly then?" But I didn't give them the answer at all. And something similar happened to me when I was in 8th grade. That reading class with Miss Thompson, that old white witch. She was a tall, white, and she was very mean, evil lady. You know, um, nobody liked Miss Thompson. Miss Thompson was out to get everybody, black or white. Why the hell was people like Miss Thompson? Why the hell was she even a teacher? You know, this woman, Miss Thompson, was like 6'1", a female now, 6'1", and obese, and just a damn bully towards all the damn students. Nobody liked Miss Thompson. you know, so it seems like I always ended up with the non-popular teachers the teachers who nobody likes, who fail everybody. And my twin sister and Stanko and Lanika, criminally, illegally, and undeservingly, always got, the popular teachers who get past everybody with straight A's. You know, I literally did have to work hard for those damn straight A's. By my sophomore year in high school, I had a 3.7 average, 3.75 GPA. And Miss Valbuena, she was like very pushy about recommending that I get in honors. Then by the time I was in my junior year of high school, and the time when I was in my senior year of high school, that white teacher, that Italian teacher, Mr. Totaro, he tried to bully, harass, and lecture me, and try to say that he has no idea who put me in honors, and he doesn't see why I'm in honors. And then there was another teacher, I don't remember who it was, who tried to slam me and try to make it like I didn't belong in honors. So then by the time my senior year in high school, that art teacher, Mr. Moody, tried to bully, harass, and lecture me, trying to, criticize my artwork. He was a black teacher, a narcissistic black man who was a narcissistic abuser, Mr. Moody. And he would criticize he hated me as a person just because he hated my quote unquote artwork. And I tried to explain to him my artwork couldn't be perfect like everybody else. I had two strokes when I was five, you know. So just because he didn't like my artwork, but then he tried to bully and harass and lecture me, telling me I had no business being at honors, you know. And so I was tormented and terrorized and bullied by the band teacher, Mr. Grotowski, also. I freaking hated him, Mr. Grotowski. you know, when the whole entire school, teachers and students, and the doggone disciplinarians and principals out to get you or whatever, bully and harass you. I mean, how the hell is a freaking assistant principal gonna sit there and bully, harass, and laugh at you? You ignorant, project, and ghetto enough to bully, harass, and laugh at, but you're professional enough to be an assistant principal, though. Hmm. So, you know, um, so I know I'm just doing a lot of venting. I'm supposed to be working on my books, but I got some sleep last night, but not the greatest. So that's why I'm just sitting here doing videos. Plus, I got my laptop and I was able to sync my phone number with my YouTube channel. So that's why I'm sitting here doing longer videos, just venting. If you can tolerate me, because I can tell a lot of the targeted individual people, just like the regular people, feel like I'm aggravating and annoying. Well, I don't mean to be. I have a right to, talk about my experiences like anybody else. So, um, today's my last day to get comfortable here. I mean, tonight is my last night to be comfortable here. And some point throughout the day, I'm gonna have to clean this place up. It ain't gonna take all that long though. So, back to what I was saying. You know, you know, even I mean, it's like so. Mr. Totaro got hateful and turned against me. Started acting different after I shaved my head my junior year in high school. That's a different story right there. But you know, a lot of girls walk around with short hair, but and they didn't have a problem with me. Had the foster mom forcing me to wear short hair, but I shaved my head because the foster sister Shelly forced me against my will to get a perm, and I didn't want a perm, and then put braids in my hair, and then got hateful and turned against me and got mad at me because I unintentionally, accidentally spilled paint on her floor, and she got mad and gave me the silent treatment. And you know, and everybody ostracized and hated my guts because I shaved my head. But people been hating me before that. Also with the bullying and everybody saying your hair is not, even in my sophomore year in high school, everybody saying your hair is nappy and you need a perm. And I freaking got tired of hearing it, you know. So, um, I'm surprised people didn't look at it as me shaving my head as a cry for help from the bullying and abuse that I had to deal with, you know. No, it's like they ostracized me even more. So anyway, um, it's like so and it's just a lot of different stuff, throughout school, and I guess it's like I got all this gang stalking. I didn't realize I was gang stalked, or targeted at the time. But the foster mom must have went behind my back and put me on the list, because that woman was like, she was one of those ignorant Project Ghetto New Orleans people who seek never ending revenge. So she has this, I'm gonna show you. That's how she be like, I'm gonna show you, So, I mean, I don't know. It's like I almost had a breakdown, almost just had a moment with the memory and a flashback of me talking about me shaving my head. Um, and then Shelly came and shaved her son's head like a week after I shaved my head. Her son Ryan was 2 years old at the time, and she said shaved all his hair off as a way to mock me. You know, so I let my hair grow back out. Got the damn perm again. Was getting perms in my senior year in high school, and the first perm I got, the bully Kim Irons. That's when she started to bully me. You know, and she was the chief bully. Just like the man who follows me around telling me police got me under surveillance. He was the Kim. I mean, he's the Kim Irons of this time right now. The Kim Irons of Pensacola. You know, so if you get what I mean, you know, with the constant bullying and abuse. And look what Kim Irons turned out to be, a deputy. You know, and I wasn't sure if she's a narcissistic abuser or a whole sociopath. You know, so until the day I die, I will never trust Kim Irons. You know, her name is spelled Kemberly, Irons, Irons. The bully Kim Irons. That's a different topic for me to talk about her bullying me and stuff. So let's fast forward now. Since today is May 26th, the 19-year anniversary of me graduating from high school, I'm going to tell how that day went. So, first of all, the foster mom and all of society felt like as if I'm such a horrible person that I burned my bridges from everybody. I burned my bridges. And so, the foster mom even tried to tell me to my face, I wouldn't have attended your graduation either. But if I had to come to the only reason why I attended your graduation because I'm the one that had to take you. You know, so I graduated with a 3 point. Wait, hold on. Let me get this right. I think it was 3.67 GPA, and I was number 39 out of 404 people, which was top 10%. I was like, quote unquote, the dumbest honor graduate. That's what I said. I used to tell myself I was the dumbest honor graduate since I was the last one. But if it weren't for certain abuse and distractions and people trying to set me up to fail on purpose, I could have been higher than that. And plus, that wicked, narcissistic, slutty teacher, Miss Gearhart, Gearhard, Miss Eugenie Gearhart, you know, the fake slutty teacher who everybody rumored that she was a stripper. Um, and so Miss Gearhart took my honors credit away wrongfully. And everybody used to say she was stuck up, you know. And they used to have rumors that Miss Gearhart and Miss Denicola and Mr. Totaro would do threesomes, that they were in a threesome relationship with each other. And people used to say Miss Denicola and Miss Gearhart look alike, you know. So, I could have had a higher GPA if Miss Gearhart wouldn't have done that. And then when I was in 11th grade, the teacher, Mr. Fradella, he's an Americanized Italian. How the hell they have him as a math teacher and he was freaking retarded? Um, Mr. Fradella, he used to say, I got this, I got this, I got this. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, then you need to go back to grammar school. And we used to be like, what? He used to fail everybody and hate everybody. If you hate, look, dear teachers, if you hate students, if you hate children, don't become a damn teacher if you hate children. That's like, if you hate mental patients, don't work in a damn mental hospital. If you hate U.S. citizens, don't become a damn police officer and don't become a judge, okay? So that's like if you hate children, but you insist on staying working in a damn daycare. Don't do it if you don't like it. Excuse me. So, yeah. So, the beginning of that day, the foster mom got mad and screamed at me. She would not allow me. I was 17 going on 18. The foster mom would not allow me to comb my own hair. Everybody else, everybody had everybody had every female had graduated wearing their hair down, long and flowing. But I had a fight with the foster mom that morning. She tried to when she succeeded, forced me against my will, forced me to wear my hair in a ponytail, and rough handling, abusing me and rough handling, jerking my hair around, you know, trying to forcefully order me to keep still when I would be still and she'd get mad and just yelling at me for no reason when I wasn't flinching or moving. But then the more she started to act like that, then I started to flinch and stuff, But she kept rough handling and yelling at me and jerking my hair around, you know. And so then, um, I couldn't get to wear my hair down like I wanted to, and everybody else wore their hair down and had a nice style, a nice long hair, wearing your hair down. And so, she forced me to wear my hair in a ponytail. The same look that I had in the graduation picture, which I probably can link it. I mean, I'll have to show that picture of the I would have to show that picture of the you know, I could try to put it in the description box again, um, with a picture of me talking about my mentally slow, crazy biological family. I mean, that blog I did. I can link the picture of the graduation picture. Y'all can go see what the graduation picture looked like if you're interested or if you care, you know. So that same ponytail, like that day, that graduation picture wasn't taken on the same day I graduated. It was like the year before, not like a whole year, but more like 9 months before or something. So then, um, you see, my twin sister was, the foster mom let her wear her hair down for the graduation picture, but she had me wear my hair up in a ponytail for then, you know. So then the graduation day, me and her wrestled about her forcing me to wear my hair in a ponytail, and then I had to hear a damn lecture on the way riding to graduation and from graduation, or we would get into an argument or whatever, something. And I was the only one who was in ROTC. They know damn well I was in ROTC. And when I walked across the stage and graduated, everybody else who was in ROTC got saluted and praised or whatever. But I was the only one who didn't get saluted. You know, I didn't get saluted. Like, and then people tell me not to worry about stuff like that. Oh, that's petty and childish. It's petty and childish because it didn't happen to you. That's why it's childish because it ain't your situation. You didn't go through it, so that's why you see it as petty and childish. You know, if you had no support system, no friends, you know, you would be complaining about not having friends too. It's easier for you to be like, well, if I didn't have no friends, I wouldn't worry about it. Well, go through that experience of having no friends, and then you'll shut the fuck up. You know. So, I mean, even the biological family was not invited or notified about my graduation. My twin sister, for whatever reason, I don't even remember what she did that day, but she admitted that she lied. She admitted that she failed our senior year in high school on purpose just to be with that girl Tiffany that she sexually wanted. Her, excuse me, her gay lover Tiffany. Um, and Tiffany used to perp me too. She used to bully, harass, and laugh at me too. You know, but my twin sister tried to downplay it and pretend like they weren't gay with each other. You know, so um, it's like um, so for whatever reason, my twin sister, well, she didn't walk across the stage and graduate. You know, and she was willing to take that sacrifice of having to go to summer school. She was expecting to spend the next year to go to school with Tiffany, but you know, she, well, I guess she ended up not going back to school. I mean, she got her diploma eventually or whatever, but she just didn't walk across the stage with me and graduate. But she wouldn't have been one of the honor graduates because her GP, she prided herself on trying to be, you know, one of the popular kids who, and that's why she got more respect because she, you know, crippled up, retarded, crazy, hardcore butch man dyke who delusionally believes she's a thug and don't know how to be a real thug because Ann didn't raise us to be a thug. You know, even though Ann thought she was tough, you know. So my twin sister, she didn't know how to be a real gangster, you know. So, you know, my twin sister, I don't know what her GPA was, but she admitted that she failed on purpose just to be with her gay lover Tiffany, but she was lying and saying she wasn't gay at the time and was trying to lie and say that Tiffany was just her best friend. But then years later, a couple of years later, she confessed and revealed that Tiffany was indeed, in fact, her gay lover. You know, so you know, I was even singled out and treated a certain way, even at the graduation ceremony. And you know, nobody wanted to talk to me or be bothered with me at the graduation. You know, leading up to the graduation, the foster mom almost didn't even let me do that because she punished me from prom, and she caught herself trying to, like, she picked the argument or a fight with me for an excuse, just for an excuse to punish me for my ROTC end of the year trip. I went on a trip anyway, because we were in a grocery store and she got mad. Like, those psych medications have you in a daze sometimes, you know. And one time it was a white lady who said, "Excuse me," and like the foster mom tried to say, "Don't stand in the middle of the aisle." I mean, if I'm a 17 years old, I don't need you to treat me like I'm four, you know. But I stood on the you know, I against where the you know, against the shelf. And it was just because the foster mom heard a white lady say, "Excuse me." That's when the foster mom purposely hit me with the basket and falsely accused me of standing in the middle of the aisle. And I tried to tell her I didn't do it, and me and her got into a heated argument. So then she used that to justify it. She knew the next day I was going to the on the ROTC end of the year trip. So when she called herself trying to punish me, me and her got into it, and there was this national. I mean, I was in Beta Club, National Honor Society, even the ROTC's Honor Society, and a few of these clubs, like these clubs for smart people, and I didn't know then that the National Honor Society and stuff is Masonic, Satanic, and Luciferian, and so, um, so I ended up, you, you know, it seemed like she would manipulate, pick arguments. Now my twin sister have turned out to be the same way, pick an argument or a fight with me just for an excuse to punish me, have justification to punish me. And so, I went to the Honor Society banquet. I think it was the Honor Society. It wasn't the Beta Club. I think it was the Honor Society. The banquet I went to that banquet that night. I mean, I wasn't playing, I went to the banquet anyway. And the next day, I got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, left on my own, and went to that trip all the way to Texas. Because she signed off for me to go on it, but then wait till the day before all this to pick this argument and fight with me. So then she punished us from prom and had us in that fake respite with that burnt lady, Miss Burnt, who her real name is Beatrice Fine. I think I heard Miss Burnt had died during Hurricane Katrina or something like that. You know, um, so so the foster mom tried to make it like that she punished us from prom so she can graduate in peace. You know, and so Miss Burnt, she was burned, the lady. But me and my twin sister, we call her Miss Burnt because we didn't like her. She was a narcissistic abuser, also. Miss Burnt, her like over 75% of her body was burnt, and she had a crippled, deformed hand. You know, so it's like that's another story right there too. So we used to say Miss Fine, that ain't there's nothing fine about her. But Miss Burnt, when she was love bombing me and pretending to be extra nice, she was like, "Oh, I could have took you to your prom." Before she got hateful and turned against me and started to act different, that lady was brutal. And this thing what they call when foster parents feel like they quote unquote need a break from a foster child, you know, that's when there's this thing called respite, where you put with a more like a temporary foster parent. When it's and Mickey used to be the foster mom's sister used to be a long-term foster parent, and Mickey acted bitter. Like Mickey was abusive to us and starved us in Alabama. What made us want to go back to her? So Mickey got her feelings hurt and got all mad because she was like, "Okay, well you don't want me to She was like, well you don't want me to watch you. You don't want me to take care of y'all. So I don't want nothing to do with y'all." So she felt like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna go to your graduation or nothing like that." So, she and Miss Burnt before that was before I realized she turned out to be mean. She said, y'all say y'all rather go stay with Miss Fine. You're damn right. Because she was being nice at the time, but then she turned out to be worse than Mickey, you know. And Miss Burnt was very creepy. I need to do a whole nother video on her because this woman was creepy enough that she had mirrors all over her house. That's right, I got mirrors all over my house. I'm surprised she didn't have cameras all over her house. Somebody, that's why I got mirrors all over my house. That's creepy too. So it's like so then it's like so I'm forced to miss out on prom, and um then I almost didn't get to walk across the stage and graduate, but the foster mom made sure my graduation day was a living hell. And if you ask anybody else, everybody agreed that I deserved to have my prom favors broken. That somebody broke my prom favors on purpose. No, it was the teacher who I had prom favors, and the foster mom paid for the prom too, just to wait to the last minute to justify look for an excuse to punish me from going. And the foster mom just kept on bullying and abusing and picking on me like my whole senior year in high school. And then after I turned 18, the abuse and shit, everything got worse. All because of this situation with Stanko and Lanika. Thank you, Stanko and Lanika, for fucking up my damn life. Because was mad when you wanted, you were mad at me for stopping your sexual human trafficking operation. You got exposed, you damn whore. And you can't hide behind the damn Bible either. Don't even try it. You know, you want to try to hide behind the Bible. And the Catholic Church is not even the right kind of church, you Catholic slut. You know. So, all these light skinned Catholic sluts in New Orleans, y'all asses ain't no real Christian. And then people laugh and say, Catholic is Catholic. In New Orleans, they don't say Catholic. They say Catlick. That's how they pronounce Catholic. Yeah, baby, I'm Catholic. You think you're better because you're Catholic. And you're a light skinned Creole Catholic slut with green eyes. You know, not her, but, in general, the light skinned sluts in New Orleans who think they're better than you because they're Catholic, you know. But Stanko Lanika, now she don't have green eyes, but I'm talking about some of the Creole whores, just generally speaking, you know. So, and Stanko Lanika still somewhere sitting there laughing, but she won't be laughing in hell. Laughing about I bet you she's probably sitting somewhere laughing about how she fucked up my life and thought it was funny, you know. So, you know, this demand being a control punk hole fucker, this Puerto Rican motherfucker named Nathaniel Munoz. In Spanish, it's pronounced Nathanael, but it's Nathaniel Munoz. He walked up to her at the graduation and said, "Oh, Lanika, when you gonna let me be your baby daddy?" He used to whole fuck with her too. And so then, excuse me, um, we got in the car, and the foster mom, me and her got into an argument. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I had to hear a lecture. And we arrived back at home, and I had some balloons and a plant, like somebody gave me flowers and a balloon or something. I don't remember if it was the foster mom herself or somebody. I don't remember. But then, there was no special graduation party for me. And they had this boy named Titus who invited me to his graduation party. The foster mom wouldn't allow it. No, I mean, there was no graduation party for me. And Blackie's wife, the crusty dog, the fake foster mom's so-called husband, who I say fag wife, Mr. Terry, who I call Black used to like the crusty dog, called himself trying to give me just simply barbecue ribs and potato salad. I shouldn't even ate it. But he gave me just barbecue ribs and potato salad as a graduation punishment. And the only graduation party I was allowed to go to was this boy from the fake cult Bible class, fake Miss Jennifer from the fake cult Bible class, her son Shannon. You know, the foster mom Ann forced me against my will to go to that party. I didn't want to go there. You know, I would have rather go to Titus' graduation party. And of course, I was treated like an outcast. Nobody wanted to talk to me. Me wondering what the hell am I here for? And I was upset because there was supposed to be a graduation party, but they had all that food and nothing sweet. Like no cake, no cookies, no ice cream, just no dessert at all. But just food and red drink. And all I know is the next morning I had diarrhea. And the foster mom now let me tell y'all this story. The foster mom was doing her little 8 o'clock in the morning ritual of shit on the toilet every day. She was like, I don't mean to be graphic, she was wiping herself. And I said, Mom, I got diarrhea. And so she's like, you know what? You know why? Because you had alcohol. Jennifer must have had her back turned and somebody must have spiked the punch. Because it was like some red punch or whatever. I didn't know it was spiked or whatever. And I didn't know I was any kind of drunk or anything like that, you know. And so then the next day, me and the foster mom got into a heated argument again. And the foster mom used it against me and threw it in my face about me shitting on myself, you know, and making like you can't even control your own bowels or something like that. She was trying to say, you know, and use it against me and throw it out, made it like as if, you know, me and her, you know, we had an argument. But let me back up. Stank Freddy from the Stinking Craft family, and the foster mom, when we pulled up after the graduation and we arrived back home, if it wasn't Mr. Freddie himself, it was somebody from that family had their car parked in the foster mom's driveway. Now, this one thing, Mr. Freddie was a freaking hypocrite because he didn't like nobody taking his parking spot, but he would always park his vehicle by the foster mom's house. And the foster mom didn't like that, you know. She had her designated that her car had to be the first car, you know, to be parked there. And everybody else's car had to be parked behind hers. She really thought she was the queen of a house that didn't belong to her. That big ass house. And so Mr. Freddie walked up to me and walk up to me and cussed me out because my balloon was hanging out the window. Well, the foster mom told me to have the balloon hanging out the window. And then he walked up to me and got mad and cussed me out for the balloon hanging out the window or something like I think that was what it was. And I said, well, see, look what he just did. He just cussed me out and went off on me. And then she tried to say he had a right to do it. So then me and her argued some more. You know, like he didn't say congrats on graduating. Now, you knew me from a baby. You thought that Stank Freddy used to whip me when I was in kindergarten, like a little child. He whipped me at more than once. You lived across the street from me all my life. And the first thing you do is cuss me out about my balloons hanging out the window. They ain't not your balloons. You didn't pay for them. So, you know, me and him, I didn't argue back with him, but I told her, like, you going to just sit there and let him curse me out like that? You know, she was the one who told me to have the balloons hanging out the window, you know. So, but anyway, the next day, Stank Whore Lanika had like a graduation, big ass party. And then I saw pictures and Stank Cheryl, who's Stank calling Lanika's mom, and Stank Freddie's daughter, Stank Cheryl. The Stank Cheryl, Miss Cheryl Kraft, um, she had you know, she's the one who would flirt for free chicken, for free Popeyes chicken. Miss Cheryl, she would flirt for free Popeyes chicken, you know. And so um it's like the woman Michelle, even if I mean, as of last, no, I didn't see her in 2019, but 2018 when I saw Stank Cheryl, I'm like, how the hell you in your 60s and she still act like she thinks she's in her 20s? That's how you know they're narcissistic, cause you in your 60s and you still think you sassy and sexy, still think you got swag, still act like you think you're 19 and 20 years old when you're in your 60s, and nobody can get her head and tell you, Michelle, that is not cute. Stop acting like that. You're too damn old for that, you know. But so anyway, Michelle had showed me the pictures of when he got the graduation and blowing candles out of a big ass cake, like blowing candles like you do at a birthday party, but it was a graduation, and I was not invited. But you knew me all your life but I wasn't invited because y'all personal prejudice and hate towards us, you know. But then Michelle wait till after the party and showing me the pictures to tell me, "Oh, you could have came. Well, why didn't you invite me?" You know. So I went through a bit of a history on my education, a brief history on my education and stuff, my educational experiences in special ed life and mainstream life and back to normal and honors life, and you see how I progressed. Then I went to driver's ed after graduation from high school. Then started off college. Now that's the end of this story.